lately feeling better, like I just stepped off the assembly line.
All right, let's stop talking and save Optimus.
Welcome back to the Titanium Panic. This is Mike coming at you with the Newage number 64 Lincoln, and this is four-wheel drive Hilux, and I gotta say that most of my collection for Legends is Magic Square. I order the Newage stuff, I buy this stuff when I think that it has a shot at beating Magic Square. Now, you guys unanimously said that I should pick this up, and I'm going to do a comparison with the Magic Square, let you know if I like this one better, which one's going to take that spot on my Legend shelf, which one's going to be used for comparisons mostly, but I'm keeping both no matter what. But I did get this at Showsy's store. I'm going to link down below where you can get yours. I think it's around 50 bucks. I didn't quite check. I'll see that when I'm getting the link linked up, but let's take a look at this guy. I'll let you know what I think. If you use TH and support your reviewer code, it helps the channel out and gives me more flexibility to pick up stuff like this that I really wasn't intending to pick up, but maybe it was a pleasant surprise. Coming up. All right, so here it is out of the package. Oh, I got my camera adjusted for Masterpiece. Hold on a second. And there it is out of the package, and it's rolls. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks okay. I'm not huge into some of these alt modes, but it gets the job done, and it looks pretty much fits the part overall. But when you have some of these holes in it that you can use for the accessories we're going to show here in a little bit, it's very, very obvious. And a lot of people look at the Legends as just smaller versions of Masterpiece, but some of the things Masterpiece MP could get away with, like having a hole that size, being not noticeable, it's highly noticeable on this. So it's still pretty clean though, and the paint, metallic paint for the windows, not too bad. Not too bad. It's a pretty decent looking figure in the alt mode, and people are probably gonna say, peel that QC sticker off. Nah, just leave it for now. It's not hurting me, really. But I'm curious though, why is this not painted? Why is this window? It's just a bit of paint. Why not add the paint to that? If they added it all here, why not there? So that looks a little bit off, but that's okay. I can live with it. I can deal with it. It's fine with me. Because I probably won't see this mode again, but a lot of people, they like having both modes. And I do have quite a bit to compare it to, so we'll do that here in a bit. Let's get into accessories. Okay, so getting into this, the accessories, of course, we have this here that plugs into the top. And it's, I guess, is that the back of the head? I'm trying to think. Reverse engineer this in my head, but you've got that piece there. This kind of feels like a tripod, but also I believe it's something that he could put in his hand, and also it's something that could go into here if you wanted it to, for whatever reason, and you could plug this to the top. Can you? No, you can't. I thought you could. Feels like there's something more that you can do with that. Anyway, I don't really see a whole lot of stuff going on with it, but still kind of okay. It's kind of interesting accessories for the alt mode. Here's a nice smattering of stuff you can compare it to. It's Newage, Magic Square. I think Magic Square on this one also, I believe. But yeah, that's how that works. That's how it looks size-wise. I think people probably would want to see sort of this comparison the most. And with that, is it a little bit big? Well, there's a reason for that. We'll see it in robot mode. All right, let's get into the transformation. It's a little bit on the involved side of things, but what we've got to do is fold this out, and then we're going to kind of shimmy this whole back section out of the way here. We can fold this down like so. We can pull these out like so, and all of this is to try to get these legs out. So then we can get the legs out, and we are going to not undo what we've just done here. And with that, we are going to try to reposition the waist like so, and then it flips around, so that you can get your correct everything. Then, as you can see, this doesn't have the right angle, so we flip that around and this around. I guess I'm looking at it from the back, so it makes more sense if we look at it from the front, because this is going to be the front. And then we have to flip this to match to the front, flip this around, and there's a lot of flipping, which I understand why they do it, but it's not. It gets a little confusing, and at the end of the day, you just gotta be, does it look right? Then I've got it all flipped right. And then how does the waist go? I really think the waist could pretty much go either way. It can go both ways, in my opinion, but let's fix this stuff they got going on with the feet here. You're gonna lift this up. We're gonna do a kind of a holdover tactic, a fold-over tactic. And then lift this up and into it. Into it, indeed. And do the same thing on the other side. And this is a lot like what we saw, well, similar, not exactly the same as what we saw with Masterpiece Takara Hound, where this kind of hid the wheel by folding it in half. Now, we've seen this, I think, a couple of times now in the Masterpiece range, so it's not really new, but we don't see it a lot in Legends because it's a lot folding a tiny Legends in half. All right, we got to fold this together. All right, this is going to go down, and then this is going to, they're going to fold in like so. Oh wait, that's why. I've got a slider here. We got sliders, and that's how it's going to fit in there with the sliders. And then make sure there's enough space so that when the top comes down, it can connect to it. But we want this to be on the other side of that. There we go. Then we got to work on the top here. Now we're going to separate the arms, and this is really strange. So you've got to make sure that when you're done with all the flipping of this, and we're going to roll it around like so, that you see the actual real shoulder. And then that's a big deal. So you see the real shoulder, then we're going to come down here and kind of make the arm. This is going to fold the back, fold it up like that, and then this is going to fold around and create an arm. There we go. And then we have to open up the hand and get the hand out of there, and then it folds down and makes the hand. And then we fold this over, and we have one arm done. Done. So the same thing over here, bringing it out, and then we're going to have to like fold it around, and then we have, wondering how well all this is showing up on camera. I'm actually just looking over the camera. So that's what makes things kind of hard for a good perspective, is because I'm folding over, looking over the camera. But we're going to fold this, and then it kind of creates this side of the arm, and then this goes up here and tabs in. Tab that in. Come on, tab in. There we go. And then we can open this up, pull the hand out, and then it folds towards it like so. And then we've got both of the arms done. Now we got to get the head out of here. Get some head out of there. So let's open this up. Push the head out and around, and then bring the head into the proper area there. And then we're going to have the guy come down, and this is going to be on a slider and slide in. And let's get to this. Before we do that, there's these little pieces here that have to get folded down. It's a small step for mankind, but a huge leap in finishing this transformation. So there it is. There it is. That finishes the transformation. It's funny how the little bitty tiny minor steps have to be done for it to get done. There you go. There's his robot mode. I'll come back with it all geared up and ready to go. Alright, so here he is in his robot mode in all of his goodness, greatness, and glory, and it actually looks really good. Now, I'm starting to get this weird feeling I might like it better than Magic Square. Yes, I said that out loud. I said the quiet part out loud. You know. It does come with some slew of accessories, and yeah, I'm doing a crazy pose for fun. He's really solid. He stands really well. I was just trying to do some... When they stand pretty well, I try to see what other poses I can get off, and I kind of think he's got a little bit of toe tilt. I was wanting to get a walking pose in on him, but the toe tilt's not quite enough there to get a walking pose. But still, it's cool. I mean, do bots need toe tilt? I don't know. We'll see that when we get to the articulation. But yeah, it looks really great. And I'm glad you guys told me to pick them up and give them a shot. So I did. One downside, let's just be quick with this downside. I'm not a fan of it looking like this. I figure they could have they're in love with sliders. They could have slid it down and pushed it back a little further, or just butted up to it just right. I think this is the one downside to this one figure, is the fact that this is just up so high, almost covering the windshield. But aside from that, everything else looks fantastic. I mean, the visible pin syndrome in the hips is also something that I don't like, but when you're getting this small, you're going to have to nitpick. Past that, the paint. It looks like it's 100% painted. Paint on Newage is beautiful. Cleanliness. The lower legs are super clean, which, what they had to do to get there, it's still great. I mean, it looks fantastic. The back's clean. Even the most kibbly aspect of this would be the shoulders, and even the shoulders aren't bad. So it's actually pretty good overall. I do like this figure and the way it looks, and might win against the Magic Square, which I don't know. I think to me it's like 65% Magic Square wins and 35% Newage wins, and this is going to get it up to like 37% if this one wins in my mind. But let's go ahead and look at the rest of these accessories and then get into some comparisons. Alright, it does come with an extra face. I've been looking for an excuse to use this QQT tool that got with that kit for the fans toys. Anyway, I can't tell much of a difference. One's kind of smiling, one's kind of stoic, I guess. I can't really get in there and see much of a difference between the two faces. And so I'm not going to mess with, they're so tiny, popping them on and off. I never do that with Legends. I just don't care. We've got, okay, I popped this hand off to put on this piece here. And then we have the blast effect that plugs into it. We have this piece here, which actually I might have that on backwards. Do I have that on backwards? Okay, I had that on backwards. Then we have this piece here, which it has a blast effect. Yeah, I had that on backwards the whole time, but that doesn't accept the blast effect. And then we got another hand. You can do the slap your mama hand. Oh, and the good thing about Newage, I do like this. The hands just swap out. And then the slapping hand, although it's a pain to get it in there because it's got articulation, it does have articulation in the slapping hand to give you a little bit more for your posing and stuff. And so, yeah, there is that. And I think that pretty much rounds up accessories, except for we get the torso to Autobot Spike. I don't know how many parts I have to Autobot Spike, but I think it looks like they're making them just... They keep putting them out in different parts of each figure and different colors, and you just get what you get, and then all of a sudden it's almost a complete Spike. I don't even know how to track down what. I don't keep up with it. I don't buy enough Newage to put together a Spike though. But that would be kind of fun to have a Autobot Spike from Newage, and as the fact that he doesn't transform, making him a Build-A-Figure, that's kind of a smart idea. It's got an articulation in that one door right there. Anyhow, there's the accessories. Articulation, head goes up and down with part of the transformation and on its own and side to side. And if you get your fingers in there and mess with it with those parts on. Then you got the shoulders, so they go out to about the 90 and then 360 and all of its friction, of course. Bicep swivel. Biceps, I said bicep swivel. I guess you're looking at it at its elbow bicep swivel. And everything you need pretty much double jointed, and then of course you saw the different range of hands. No articulation in any hand except for this point right here. Waist swivel, and if you disconnect it, you can do whatever. But if it's connected, you got the waist swivel and a bit of an ab crunch. More than I would really need. So it's not quite, when it's connected, not quite Magic Square disconnected. It's pretty much the same as the Magic Square, which is kind of crazy. Thighs go out to here, to the back, to the front. Thigh swivel and double jointed knee. Everything you could possibly need. And then we've got lower leg swivel, part of the transformation. We got some ankle tilt and stuff. Toe tilt is very, very minimal, but it is still there. So everything you would need in this guy. All right, here it goes, side by side with Magic Square, and I'm looking around. I know I have another Magic Square somewhere, a blue one or something, but this is, I think, the EX release. I think this is the most recent release, and I told myself I'm done buying these. He is a little bit shorter. It's funny how the camera makes him look almost exactly the same height. I think it's the kind of the neckline is lower, making it look shorter, but he's got a bigger head. And with that, just looking at them side by side, and not going into any further detail, I like this one more. And I guess I should put that on the other side. I don't know. I'm just showing the options that are out there. It would make sense to put that on the other side. Let's do that. It's a journey, isn't it? And I do like this silvery piece better than just the flat, boring gray. I would have rather had the silver pieces. If you're going to put all these accessories, include some doubles of silver. The thing about Newage is they're going to make 6 different versions. You're going to get the toy version. It's going to have all the silver and almost like chrome. It's going to be so shiny. And so with that, winner goes to Newage. And Magic Square, I'm sad. Well, I'm not sad. You're going to see a lot of Magic Square because he's going to be my extra up here in my review space. So I'm using for a lot of comparisons. This will be in the display. I mean, I'm not mad about that at all. Look how much cleaner it is in the back. And I don't know if I got enough light on the Magic Square. Magic Square still has this wheel sticking out the back, which, by the way, it's not a huge deal and it doesn't really bother me. But the fact that they hid the wheel and cleaned the whole leg up, way better. I mean, that's a win. I'm sorry, it's a win. The one thing Magic Square wins at, though, is the arm, which that kind of came untabbed in there. It's not Newage's fault. But the fact that this is cleaner and feels more correct as an arm, it's not enough to win. And I think Magic Square actually did this little panel, this little hood piece, a little bit better. But I look at the overall figure, I like Newage better. Still, there's nothing wrong with either option. They're both great. How does this look in a display? It looks fantastic. It fits in right with Magic Square stuff. And as the vast majority of my collection is Magic Square for Legends, and I have a couple of Newage pieces that are top-notch. I think their RC's top-notch. Their Cyclonus, their Galvatron, top-notch, top-notch, top-notch. They win this one also. And just look at it. If you collect the way I collect, I think Magic Square has the best Prime, the best Iron... Well, I don't know. It's kind of close on the Ironhide now. But definitely the best Hound, so you can mix and match both of them these days and get a great looking display, which in my opinion, that's how it should be with competition in the collecting space. All right, this is my look at the Newage 64 Lincoln and their take on a very, very, very G1-esque Trailbreaker. What do I think of it? I think they did a great job with it. I think it looks good. Of course, the negatives, I didn't really like how they handled the hood. Not everyone can handle the hood properly with this character. And also, the shoulders are a bit on the Ghibli side, but for everything else, it look good. And the shoulders from the front look amazing. From the side, Ghibli. I do like silver accessories. Knowing you're going to get that in 6 other options down the road, I might pick one up. I might not. Depends on how I feel. And then I can do some swapping on accessories and those kinds of things. But for now, this is going to make it on my Newage, my Legends shelf. It's mostly a Magic Square shelf, but I did get this at Shozi Store. I have a link down below where you can get yours. I think these are like $50 a pop. Is it worth it? It depends on your collecting and how you collect and all that kind of stuff. But if you use TH on the main page, support your reviewer. It helps the channel out when you go buy stuff over there. So anyway, this is my look. What do you think? Where are you at on this? Do you like this one? do you already have a Magic Square and you're happy with it? Because if so, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Titanium hanger out.
You heard the chief. Roll out. Decepticons. What a sorry sight for sore eyes. Starscream, wait!
Sequence I can try.
You did it, Chip! Now.
Well, guys, do we quit?
Maybe I still have enough power left to shield us from this killer rain.
Way to go, Trailbreaker! Now your automatic repair systems can put you back in shape.
Now, how's it going to look in a nice display here? And I think that this looks fantastic. Come on, RC. Stand up. You can do it.